Sunshine, sunshine, where have you gone? Blue sky, I'm holding on for you. I won't let storm clouds get in my way this time. 'Cause I know you're mine. And I've got the joy deep down in my heart. I'm waking up with your love from the start. I'm chasing the rainbow through the rain. I know it's gonna be a beautiful day. Yeah.
Hello ladies, and welcome to session 1 of Burdens to Blessings study. In this first session, our focus is going to be on a brown paper bag. I know what you're thinking. What could a brown paper bag have to do with the transforming of our burdens into blessings? Well, let's go into the session today and find out together.
Sunshine, sunshine, where have you gone?
Welcome to Burdens to Blessings. I really am so glad you're here, and I thank you for taking the time to be a part of this study. Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to be talking about things that maybe you normally wouldn't be talking about. We're going to be talking about hurts and things that have bothered us in our past, and maybe even some things that you don't even realize that are there. We are going to become best friends to one another as we journey together and share our thoughts and really discover even more about who God created each of us to be. We're also going to be having lots of fun because I love to laugh. Do you all?
Yes.
Well, I will tell you, one of the greatest things that you're going to learn about me is I cannot tell a joke. So you're going to be laughing a lot as I try to tell jokes, and that's okay. You know, more than anything, I just want you to come in from week to week and be relaxed. I want you to understand that where you are is right where you're supposed to be, and that who you are is worthy to be celebrated. Be okay with anything that you decide that you want to share or talk about during this time. Allow yourself maybe to go places that you've never allowed yourself to go before, because I'll guarantee you the women sitting around you will value and love you even more as they find out about the struggles and the hard times that you have actually walked through. And not only will they admire you even more, you will become a voice of hope to them. And I feel like that's what we're losing so much in our world today, is that voice of hope. It is the passion of my heart for every woman to understand that no matter what has happened in your life, no matter what is tucked in your heart, that God finds value in that. And we've forgotten about that. But God finds value in every part of who you are and everything that you walk through. So it's going to be a wonderful 8 weeks, isn't it, ladies? It really is. It really is. So, for any of you who know me very well, you know I love giving gifts. I love it. Well, I want you to know that also with this study, I brought you all a gift. And I really broke the bank with this one because I brought each and every one of you a brown paper bag. I know. It's like, Kim, could you really not do better than that? Well, actually, I wanted to do better than this. We'll just have to say this was God's idea. And let me tell you why. I was in a local grocery a few years ago when I began doing this study, and I was, you know how we do when we have people coming, we want to run down to the grocery and get snacks and waters and all those things. So I'm just, you know how we just truck down the aisles, and all of a sudden, I just stopped. And I looked down and I saw on the bottom shelf these brown paper bags. And I thought, why would I stop here? So I just kept on going. It's like this thought came in my mind, grab some of those brown paper bags. And I thought, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. I don't do ugly brown paper bags. No. I'll run over and get like the orange with the lime polka dots, or, you know, something really fancy smancy, but not brown paper bags. And so I keep on going, and I get to the end of the aisle, and it was almost like that voice again. It says, you need to back up and go get those brown paper bags. And I thought, why would I even be thinking about this? This is not me. And then I thought, not me. Who could it be? So I thought, oh, this is not, no. So I keep going down, and the voice came into my mind, you need to back up and go get those brown paper bags, or you will be fighting the traffic to come back, because you are going to get the brown paper bags. So I backed up, looked around to make sure nobody was looking, grabbed the brown paper bags. I get in the car, and I'm riding up to my house, and I said, God, did you and I just have like a little fuss about brown paper bags in the grocery store? And in my heart, I felt him going, yes, we did. So I went on home and really forgot about the bags. I think I probably threw them in the pantry to try to forget about them. The next morning, the ladies come in for Bible studies, and all of a sudden, brown paper bags pop in my head. And I think, okay, what are we going to do with these brown paper bags? And then it dawned on me, what a great way for us to introduce ourselves. I'm going to give each of you a brown paper bag, and what I want you to do is, first, I want you to draw yourself. I know, I'm not an artist either. Just do a stick figure if you have to do. Don't be intimidated by it. I want you to draw yourself on that brown paper bag. And then we're going to come back and do an exercise, okay? So take about 5 or 7 minutes, draw your picture, and then we have a great exercise to do, okay? Okay, how was that, ladies? Let's see. Let me look around. Oh my goodness, look at this. We have some good-looking bags. Wasn't this a great idea? Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. I want you to take 10 minutes, and I want you to introduce yourself to each other based on your self-portrait. There's one question I want you to answer in the way of introducing yourself. I want you to tell the people around you if you could put anything in this brown bag to have for lunch or dinner today, what would you put in this brown paper bag? It's pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, so you have 10 minutes. Introduce yourselves, okay? All right, so pretty much fun. Do you feel like you got to know one another a little better? It's an easy question. Everybody has something they like to eat. So it's what I thought when I was doing it. I thought, whoa, God, you are a genius. I mean, this was great. It was really worth picking up those little ugly brown paper bags. This was a great idea. And then about halfway through, I heard that same little nudge, that same little voice again. It was like, oh, that's not really the reason for the little brown paper bag. Well, so everybody's talking like you all were just doing, introducing themselves, and I'm trying to think, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? And ladies, it hit me. And I will tell you, when it did, it was almost like it took my breath away. And it made me understand why God wanted me so badly to get those brown paper bags. Because as we look at these brown paper bags, and as much fun as we are going to have with them, this is what God really wanted me to share with these bags. He wanted us to answer the question, what is in the bag that's been eating at you? What is it? God wants to know. What is it that we carry around in our little bags, like our little heart, that has been eating away at us? What is it that nibbles away at our confidence? God began to show me that we all have brown paper bags. And in those bags, ladies, we hide our hurts, we hide tragedies, we hide life's disappointments and addictions, unfulfilled dreams, and things that we don't even really understand. And then, because we really don't know what to do with them, you know what we tend to do? We tend to pretty them up with pretty little clothes and pretty little shoes, with our pretty little lives and our busy little schedules. We have ways that we try to hide them so that no one dare see that we have a brown paper bag. But we all know there's something in there. And I definitely know that I carried one. And I've been working on my bag for 25 years. And there's still things in that bag. There's always a burden. There's always a hurt. There's always something that God is working on. The worst part about the bags, though, that I found out is they are so clever. They are clever at the way that they begin to eat away at our life and try to eat away at our very soul. They try to kill, steal, and destroy everything that we really long to do in our heart. They battle us in those tender situations where we're just about to say yes to God, or to step out and do something that we've longed to do. And that bag rears its ugly head and says, oh, don't you remember? Oh, well, what if someone finds out? It would be easy for you as a group or individually to say, nope, I don't have an ugly brown paper bag. Sorry, wrong person. It would be so easy to do that. But I think if we really want to arrive at our most authentic self, that during this study, that we will just give it over to God, that we will just trust Him. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about these next few sessions, that how to really release that and how to turn that over to Him so that God can do amazing things with it. Because aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of your peace being gobbled up in the middle of the night? Aren't you tired of worrying about what if someone finds out? Aren't you tired of carrying the regret and the shame, and if only I had done this and I hadn't done that? Ladies, God wants us to walk in freedom. He wants us to understand the blessing that He has tucked beneath every one of those burdens. And He has. He has. I want to share with you why I have the passion that I have. And it all began as my mother lay dying. She was 51 years old, and you'll hear a little bit more about her as we walk along. The complete story's in the book, Burdens of Blessings, that you can read. Her final words to me were, Kim, don't live like I'm dying. Don't live like I'm dying. Now, Mother was a beautiful woman. She was the type of person, if she walked in the room, you would go, oh, if anybody has it all together, that one woman has it. And you look around, there's a room full of you in here. You walk in a room and people go, well, I could never relate to that person. They've never had a trouble in their life. And we all know that's not true, really. We know it, but we don't know it, right? But that's the type of appearance that Mother was. But you've got to understand that for her to say that to me, Mother had to walk beyond this line of her authentic self, because she had put on this cover-up for so many years. You see, she had had me at the age of 16 and she wasn't married. And there was a lot of shame in that. She never really felt worthy of God's blessings after that day. In her mind, how could she? She had made a huge mistake. She had embarrassed her parents. All these things had happened. How could God ever forgive her? Now we know that He had. But Mother had never accepted that. She had never allowed herself to feel that acceptance. And so when she said, Kim, don't live like I'm dying, what she was saying was find God's love, find His acceptance, walk in what He wants you to do, fight for your life. Don't be anything less than who God has called you to be. That's tough to find your way back to that. But she, at that moment, gave me this passion. She showed me what life was all about. And that was to find ourselves, ladies, wherever we are and wherever we have been, to truly find ourselves and to really know without a shadow of a doubt that we have been accepted, that we have been approved, and that whatever we have walked through, God has a great plan for it. He saw it way before it ever happened. One of the things that I have learned is when we're not living our authentic self, we really don't know who we are, and we really don't know what we're supposed to be doing. So as women, when that happens, when we don't know what we're supposed to be doing, do you know what we began to do? We began to try to do everything that everyone expects us to do, don't we? And when we don't know who we are, what do? We try to become everything that everyone needs us to be, don't we? And I will tell you, ladies, it gets exhausting, doesn't it? It gets exhausting. How many of you, and don't raise your hands, how many are just tired today? How many of you just like, oh, I just want peace. I just want this battle inside me to stop. I want people to know who I am really and accept me for who I am. Isn't that the longing of our hearts? I want you to get this. What I'm going to be saying to you is not things that you're going to hear on the TV talk shows, or you're not going to read in your pop psychology magazines, but it is God's truth. So let's commit ourselves to, okay, God, whatever it is, whatever that next little step is, I'm going to do it. I'm going to trust you. And many of you may go, but Kim, you don't know what's in my bag. You have no idea. People would be amazed if they knew what was in my bag. I'm going to show you something that's going to make you feel a little bit better. This was my bag. Does that make you feel a little bit better about your bag? When my mother said, don't live like I'm dying, I felt like my whole life was this bag. It represented almost every part of my life since I was 4 years old. When I was 4, I really, seriously, I know you're all going to laugh, just get ready. I really thought I was a princess. I really did. I even travel with my tiara still to today. Well, kind of. But you know, it wasn't because of a royal trumpeter. It wasn't because of the wonderful castle that I lived in. It was all because of the love of my daddy. Oh, he loved me so much. So much. Have you ever had anybody love you so much that they just it just oozed out of their eyes? He did. And I loved him so much. We walked together and talked together and sang together. He was like my hero. I loved him more than life itself. But in 1962, something abruptly happened in my life. I was playing out in my little castle. It was actually an old coal shed. You know, they had coals back in those days. But I was back there, and they called for me to come in, and so I went running out of the coal shed, down the little embankment, around the corner, and up the steps, and ran into their home. And I saw that everybody was crying, and there were so many tears, and I couldn't figure out. I really didn't see people sad there very much. But on that day, I was told that I would be leaving. That who I thought were my parents were really my grandparents, and that my sister, Linda, was really my mom, and she would be marrying my real father, and that I would be going to live with them. You know, I really didn't believe it, very much at the beginning. I just thought, no, how could this be? I mean, you don't understand that at the age of 4. But it really dawned on me when I got to the church and they placed me at the back of the church with my little suitcase. And I can remember all the music and all the organs, everything going. And then I remember looking up and I can recall seeing my real parents coming toward me and with their extended hand to take me with them. And I, as a little girl, was thinking, no, I mean, we can't do this. And my grandmother, who loved me dearly, that I always called Mama, looked at me and she said, now, Kim, you need to be a big girl. Oh, how many times have we heard that? You need to be a big girl. And so I thought, I do. So I took a deep breath and I thought, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And then I looked around and I saw my grandfather, the man who had always made everything right in my life, the one who I loved and I adored. And what do we do, ladies, when we get trapped in a situation and we don't know what to do? We start to bargain. I remember going, oh my gosh, I will give you this beautiful dress that I love if you'll just let me stay. And then I began to say, my bows, I love my bows. I'll give you my bows if I can just stay. I even got to the point to where I was willing to give them my shoes. You know how we love our shoes. I had the cutest little black patent leather shoes. I said, I'll give you my shoes. What have I done? What have I done? Be a big girl. Be a big girl. So I turned around to walk out, and when I did, I caught my grandfather's eyes. And I can remember just holding my hands out to him saying, please, don't make me leave you. But he did not have ownership of me. And so I went. That, ladies, was the devastation in the beginning of my little brown paper bag. And I began to build upon it for many years. And I share that with you today because I want to be real with you. I want to be authentic with you. I want you to see Kim for who Kim is. As I have tried to work through that brown paper bag, and this is to maybe help you understand and be more real with the ladies around us and feel a freedom to talk about what's in your bag, is to understand that the bag really has so many blessings tucked in it. We just have to be willing to go in that bag and look at it, to feel safe enough and loved enough and create a spot. And this is your spot. This is your time. This is your safe haven where we can talk and really explore the depth of who we are. I didn't have this group. I wasn't sure what to do. I was a little girl. And so my bag really began just to spiral downward. I became that teenager who was addicted to diet pills. I was that teenager who was anorexic. I was that teenager who had suicidal tendencies. I was the teenager that suffered from crippling anxiety attacks. And I was the teenager that suffered from great, great depression. But I also want you to know that I was the teenager that was the cheerleader. I was the teenager that was Miss Teen Time. I was the one who made the great grades and always wore that smile on my face. You would have never known. You would have never known. So the day finally came when I decided I had to try to open up this bag. I had to see if God had anything for me. I had to try. Don't live like I'm dying. I wasn't sure what to do, but I was finally able to take that big bag and just open it up just a little bit. Just enough just to peek in, just a little bit. Just enough just to barely look. You wanna know what I found in the bag? Nothing like what I expected. Oh yes, the hurts were there. The damaged little girl was there. The abused little girl was there. But right in the middle of my bag stood Jesus. Right in the middle of everything that I thought that he would find so ugly and so damaging. The things that he would not even want to get near. He was there. And I felt it was almost like that he said to me, "Oh, I'm so glad you're finally here. I've been waiting right here for you. I've been sitting here just waiting for you to come meet me right here. Because right here is the beginning of something beautiful." I'll never forget that. I never would have thought that that's where I would have found him when I saw him. He wasn't shaking his head going, "I've been waiting on you forever." He wasn't like, "Where have you been? You should have gotten yourself out of that mess. You should have known better to make that decision. You should have known better, Kim." No, nothing like what I thought. He was inviting me in. He was inviting me unto him, and this is what he was saying. Matthew 11:28. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." So to begin the transformation of burdens to blessings, how do you think we began doing that? Talking. It's as simple as talking. And you all are going to begin to share and talk if you want to. And let's see what God has in store for us these next few weeks, okay? Hello, ladies. I hope session 1 was a wonderful beginning for you. I hope that you were able to really understand that you have wonderful women around you. And I hope that the exercise was able to give you a little insight that we truly all are battling something. We each have a brown paper bag, whether we like it or not. But I also want you to remember that inside that bag, if we can find that courage to take one small step, we really do see that that's where Jesus is waiting for us, and we see that that's where the transformation of our burden to blessing truly begins. This week, as you leave and spend the week thinking about this, I pray that you will just jump into your Bible and read more of the scriptures that I provided for you. And if you dare, find a friend from the study, call for lunch or for coffee, and begin to share that hurt. I promise you, there will be such a connection, and you will have a lifelong friend. All right, ladies, until next week, find a friend if you dare and begin talking about that burden. And until then, I pray that you find lots of little blessings along your way this week.
This is just the